I was listening to one of you guys' podcast.
Really, which one?
And I literally clicked a random one, and it was the fitness drama.
Oh no! That was like the worst episode you
That
could
was the worst
have.
episode you listened to. No, I'm like, oh my gosh, all this happens, and I had no idea of any of
Yeah,
that.
the tea was pretty juicy.
It
though,
was
right?
so juicy.
It was so juicy. Like,
I
and
literally
it
my
searches like
you
within
guys.
like 2 days. It was like it came so fast paced. Like he's a pedophile.
Yeah,
he's a predator.
yeah, you guys. Literally, my searches: Ryan Reed Fitness, Taylor Olsen. I'm like, what are these people?
That's so funny. You were like trying to catch up.
I'm like, what are these people? I never heard of anything. Wow.
You like it's fancy, huh? But we're doing the thing. It's actually not fancy. We got like the cheapest set.
Really? This sounds good.
Right?
We're meaning to get a studio soon.
This is really like, wow. What if I sing? Let me see.
can sing.
Dude,
Go,
we
go,
do
go,
that.
go.
Wait, we do
do
that.
it all
You're
the
just
time.
like us.
Yeah.
We start off all our episodes
Like
like
singing.
singing.
Welcome back, Muscle Mommies. Today we have a special guest, Miss Africa. I'm Nona,
I'm Olive.
and we're
And
glad
I'm-
that you're here.
I'm
Wait,
like,
that
and
was
I'm
it.
Africa.
I think that was it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so Miss Africa, please introduce yourself.
Well, you guys, my name is Africa. I don't know what to say. I'm a little.
You're
little
so
shy.
cute.
You're
so cute.
Like, what are you notable for? Like,
Yeah.
if people, because people follow her. She
Like
has a large
business,
following.
CEO,
Mhm.
Yeah.
influencer.
Yeah, I like to humble myself.
I love it. Let's hear it.
I do have. I really don't consider myself like a influencer, or I know I have some following, but the following that I have was really because of Anthony and the transformation that he did with me. But me and my husband own a couple companies together. Our most recent one, which is called One Soul, which is a plant-based supplement brand, which Nona is a part of, and we've been
Yes.
trying to low-key steal
All
out
right.
of for the longest time. But you know what?
Products are amazing though.
yeah.
Like I've tried them, used them, and they're fire.
Amazing.
Yeah, and so that's one of them. Then I have a fitness clothing brand called Rare Fit.
This one's
and
fresh. I mean,
yeah.
One Soul's pretty fresh too, but Rare's
So-
even.
actually they're only 2 months apart.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
I was trying to like recall the timeline.
Yeah, it's just that One Soul blew up,
Yeah.
and we truly did not expect it to blow up the way it did. And Rare Fit, we're getting there, but fitness and I mean fashion is just another.
Sphere. 100%.
It's just so difficult. It's like another realm.
Mm-hmm.
And but I enjoy it, so I'm still doing it. And then we have Build a Booty, which is bands, and that's what we have together. And then obviously Anthony has the programs and stuff. But yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just casually, her and her husband
Yeah.
have like 3 businesses.
3
together. That is like
businesses, some
power,
Power couple.
actually.
Thank you.
And super
Powerful.
successful too, all of
Yeah.
them.
And
Yeah.
humble and nice and sweet and just overall amazing humans.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Besides Africa, like low-key, like being inspiring because of her business aspect, like there's a relation, I think, with Africa and like what we do. And I think like what our viewers would really like is Africa's like spiritual. She's really like, besides being into fitness like we are, she's also into like working on her mind and her spirit. So you want to tell us like just, well, obviously talk about it more, but like a little like overview of that for you. Like what is spirituality for you?
I think spirituality for me is a very personal thing, in the sense where I went through a lot of trauma growing up. I am an immigrant, right? I was born in Mexico. I have an entire family who was also born in Mexico, came to this country, tried to like fight for our freedom and come here and make something out of, at the time, what we had was nothing. And for me, spirituality came because I feel like I became a product of my environment or the things around me, right? I fell under a statistic of people who have parents who are divorced, people who have who are immigrants, people who, you know, the list goes on. And so spirituality for me was kind of like a way to kind of say, who am I and what is my purpose here, and how can I come to terms with, this is my past and this is what it was, but this is who I'm creating to become.
Yeah.
And to me, spirituality is that, but also spreading that, right? Because I'm not the only one. I think we all go through trauma. We all go through things in life, and I'm not the only immigrant. Like, immigrants come from all over the world. And so to me, that's what spirituality kind of is.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love that.
I love how you
you.
put it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I think it means even more for you to triumph those things, because I mean, I think it's inspiring to a lot of people who sort of feel lost and like go into spirituality, because it heals you, yeah, or it healed you, right? But it also, like, you triumphed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, spirituality helped you direct your path where you wanted it to go, and then you exceeded. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel
that's
like it's the
beautiful.
core of one's being.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to have your spirituality kind of just be the core of your life kind of makes everything kind of flow easier into your life in a way. And that's also something that it's done for me. So to me, my spirituality is very important. And with that, I mean, like, also my mental health, because it's kind of correlates to spirituality, your physical health, because that also correlates to your mental health and directly to your spiritual health.
Yeah, it's like
And I
this
think
huge circle.
it's, I mean, we are one.
One soul.
We are one soul.
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
We are one.
We
Literally,
are.
we are one. And everything that is, like, when they say, oh, health, or, you know, you're going to, when you get into fitness, you are growing not just physically. I feel like that's the smallest portion of the growth. It's like you grow mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and you kind of just manifest this, like, pool of just positivity. But it's not always, you know, sunshines and rainbows.
For sure. Yeah.
you
For
really
sure.
just, you go through a lot, I think, to overcome, because you have to really face the things that have held you back for so long.
Yeah.
So
How did you get into like spirituality? Like, did someone introduce this to you? Did you find it yourself?
spirituality kind of, I will say my mom had an influence, because my mom is very like, hey, Africa, the full moon's coming, make sure you charge your crystals.
Yeah.
And, like,
I love that. She's
like,
so cute.
yeah, she's currently doing like this Reiki course to become a Reiki healer. So I think I heard of it from her first, and I was intrigued to kind of like, what is she on? Like, what's going on? Like, who is this new person? Because my mom changed drastically.
Yeah.
And I saw the change within her. And I felt inspired in a way, seeing who my mom was and who she was reinventing herself to be. And I was in a place in my life where I feel like I was just extremely depressed. I didn't even know that it was like mental health. I didn't know it was depression. I didn't know it was anxiety. I just knew that, like, I was sleeping until 11, 12, and like waking up and then taking naps, and then just my day was just kind of a blur. And so now that I'm more informed, now that I do a lot more research and I read about mental health, what the brain and the functions that it does into your body and to your life, now I understand, oh wow, I was actually in a depressive episode. I was having an anxiety attack. Now there's like terms to call them, because I think that they're kind of like newer to kind of speak on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is definitely fresh.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How old were you, if you don't mind?
When I found my spirituality journey, I was 21. I was 21.
And when did you come down here?
To LA?
Just America.
Oh, America. I was so it's funny, because I used to always say I was months old, and my dad was like, no, you were 2 years old. I'm like, was I 2 years old? Why does it feel like I've always been told it was months? And he's like, because we say like 24 months. I'm like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
24 months is 2 years old. And so they were like, oh, you were like
24 months.
Yeah, 24 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I was months old.
Yeah.
But it's like 2 years.
Yeah.
I was 2 years old.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so,
Yeah, so I
and
was
you
a
know what,
baby.
like, I kind of like relate to you on that, part, because being an immigrant, I feel like you kind of feel so different, like the black sheep in the crowd, and like everyone has their shit together. Everyone's parents already like grew up here. They know the system, and you're over here like trying to make it in a system, and you're like so helpless, you know? And I feel like that like puts a lot of pressure on like immigrant kids and stuff like that, because it's like you're finding yourself, but you're also like finding a level in which other kids don't need to go through.
Exactly.
You know,
You
and
start
there's
like
no
negative.
negative,
Yeah.
nothing.
I mean, if you even just see like the simple history of it, you have people that have like, and I'm not talking about everyone, but the vast majority of it, as you said, have had generations already living here. So that means that they kind of do know the, you know, the way around things, and even just like in the financial aspect, they're a lot more established than we are. And it does put you kind of in a space where you kind of don't feel like you're welcomed in a way, or you feel like the funny kid. You feel like they're just kind of, you just feel different, and you can't comprehend why. Because when we're 4 or 5 years old, it's not that we know, oh, it's because I'm an immigrant that makes me a little bit different. We don't know how to label that when we're young, so we just kind of grow with that. And I think a lot of that I came to realize that it was a little bit of rejection that kind of triggered me, and I had to work on that. And I'm not sure if you guys saw on TikTok about how there was this trend that happened where there was this lady who laid a yoga mat in the middle of the street.
Yeah, I saw.
Wait, I didn't
Yes.
see this. I didn't see this.
Okay, so do you want to tell her about it? No, I'll tell her. Okay, so she lays a yoga mat in like a busy intersection, you know, in the street, not in the actual street, but like
The sidewalk.
the sidewalk.
Uh-huh.
And she lays there, and obviously people are like, you know, looking at her, and like some lady goes up to her and she's like, why are you doing this? I'm just very curious. And she's like, well, I've always felt like I think she said something along the lines where like, I care too much about what people think about me, and I always feel like people are talking about me, or I feel weird. So I'm laying down here because people are going to stare at me, and I'm kind of just facing
Facing the fear.
the fear
Fear of
of
rejection.
yeah. And I was
It's like exposure therapy.
yes. And I was talking with my best friend about it, and she's like, I think I'm going to do that. Like, I think I'm actually going to do that because I feel like I struggle with that a lot. And I'm like, do it. And I'll be there like in the drinking my coffee, just making sure you're good and no one does nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love that.
Oh my god, I'm proud.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that.
me too. I don't know if she's actually going to do it, but she did say so. I'll encourage her.
But it's low key. It's exposing yourself to something that you're. It works though. I'm a big fan of exposure therapy. Like I'm also a big fan of speech therapy. I think both of those things are really strong, but they're incredibly challenging. It's like the thing you fear most, you just have to do to fear less. Like how, like, you know, like it's like people who have social anxiety just need to be in social situations. Like that's like the hardest thing to do.
Yes.
You know. But I definitely believe in it. I think it's a really powerful like tool.
It's like jumping into a pool of ice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, or like
Shock.
you're scared of water. Like there's people who have like a phobia of water, and just jumping into the pool. Like that's like the hardest thing for them to do, you know? But you pull the trigger and it becomes like less and less
And
scary.
then once you're like over that, it's like wow, like it really works.
It does. I
That
absolutely
lady
agree.
who's probably doing the yoga thing, she probably is so confident every single day from now on. Like she put herself through that like uncomfortable period for like a split second, but her entire life is going to be
completely different.
Completely
She's gonna have
different.
a different outlook.
Yeah.
Because you're facing your fears, and I'm a big fan of facing my fears.
yes, being uncomfortable and stuff like that.
100%. I think in life, you most of the times have to be uncomfortable to reach a place where you want to be.
Yeah. Did you face any big time fears? Like, I mean, of course, like there's fears that you conquer, like being an immigrant coming up into a new country. But I'm talking about like, let's say business, especially being a woman in business. That's like it's like a male dominated sphere, just like weightlifting is, right? Did you have a lot of things you had to face or overcome being in that sphere? But you were paired with Anthony. So this question's a little bit different for you, right?
know what? How about I talk about a fear I'm currently facing?
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I think a lot of people always talk about something they've overcame,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be brave enough to talk about something I'm currently fearing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's finding myself, like not losing myself in this business venture.
Okay.
Because and what I mean with that is like, I am labeled a CEO, and that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And let me tell you why. Sometimes I'm in a room with like extremely, extremely smart people, and they are like just titles upon titles upon titles. And I mean, I have my bachelor's in business, but I'll be in a room and we're like hiring, right? So we hire someone that went to like this top school and was like valedictorian in her school. And, you know, I'm there and I feel a little bit uncomfortable because I'm like, I'm 25 years old and I'm running this huge company that blew up, and we didn't know it was going to blow up like that. And something I'm currently struggling with is not losing myself, in the sense that like, it's okay to still be me. It's okay to still be 25. I am a CEO. I am running these multiple businesses, but it's okay to have fun. It's okay to be young. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. I mean, they say if you're the smartest person in the room,
You're in the wrong room.
you're in the wrong room.
I agree.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, I'm where I need to be. And I'm currently working on that, because it was so funny. We had a meeting, and Sean, you know Sean, he's one of our partners with One Soul.
Okay.
And he was like, Africa, you just have to be yourself. It's okay to be yourself. And I have my best friend who also works for our company, and she said last time, she was like, sometimes you like change your tone of voice and you're just very like CEO Africa, and not like yourself. And I want to be one person and not two people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And it's a little scary, because sometimes I want to like go online and go with my friends and post a video of us having fun and like, you know, like twerking and, you know, and then I'm like, what is everyone going to say? Because like, I am directly connected with 3 of my companies. And so I'm just trying to find who I am comfortable with and finding myself. And it is a little scary, because one of my goals is to be like on Forbes. And I'm like, what if Forbes comes across my like silly video, or like my, you know, and so that's kind of a fear I have right now. So just finding myself and being comfortable with the title I have, but at the same time not losing myself.
Yeah.
I feel like people will always admire like authenticity, and like you're an amazing person. So just put you out there, you know? Like I feel like if I was following someone and they're like successful and a CEO, and I saw them having fun, I'm like, wait, like pop off, like period, you know?
Yeah, it's more realistic than it is anything else. Yeah, I agree with that. And this is just a random side note, but you want to be on Forbes and you worry about like the balancing it, right? I know somebody, not personally, but they're in like this sphere that I'm also in when it comes to, it's like a gaming sphere kind of thing. She has founded, I think it's like this major app that like tons of people use, and she was featured on Forbes for it. But she is very much herself on all her platforms. Yeah. Like she parties and she talks about it. She and that is constantly her reflection. Like the same thing that you sort of said. She was like, me being me doesn't negate all of the things that I've accomplished. And she talks about that all the time. And she's able to pull it off. And I think it works as well, because it's true. It's like you having fun on your story doesn't negate the fact that you successfully ran 3 businesses. Like no one can take that from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Forbes would without a doubt see your like accomplishments and nothing else. Like it doesn't matter what she does in her free time. Like what she did and continues to do is like not negatable, you know? Yeah. She was featured on 30s Under 30. I don't know if that's exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, that's what she was featured. Yeah. And I'm
like, I have 2 years. Well, 5, but I'm about to turn 26 next month.
But why'd you say 2 years?
Because Forbes deadline to submit for Forbes 30 Under 30 is in August. And so I'll be 26, 27, 20. So 3 years.
Oh, I see.
Because by 29, I have to submit, because I can't, 2 years. Because if I submit in August, when they release, which is December, they release the nominees, you have to be
under 30.
Under 30. So actually 3 years. Yes, 3 years, because under 30. But
what's the requirements for that?
Oh, I went like deep into that,
Oh.
and it's kind of like a college application.
Oh no way.
So you do like a submission. Actually, if you know someone, you get like ranked up because they can submit for you. So you can submit yourself, or someone can submit you. And it's kind of just like a college application, and they do like a kind of like personal statement, like what are you doing in your industry that's impactful. And then it goes to like second round, where they do like a sit down interview, and they get to know you like a lot.
It's really like
deeper.
college.
It's like college. I was like, okay, this is not that bad.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out, because I kind of wanted to do this.
Good.
Yeah, but now it's like, since it's so much money involved, it's like how fast and how like almost like brutally can we do it, because it needs to be in and out, in and
Oh
out. They need to
God,
grow
I don't even want to
faster.
think about it.
It fucks me up when I think about it as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
That's why it's
yeah.
important to like consume, like to know where you're consuming things. from.
Yeah. There's this app. I forgot the name of the app, but you could track where your eggs come from,
Oh.
right?
I have the Yuka app. Do you know about the
Yuka, where it says like if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yuka app is amazing.
I have the Yuka app, and all my products at home, 90% of them are Yuka approved.
Oh, I love that.
Like,
I didn't.
I
I,
love
don't
that.
even know what this app
So
is.
Yuka is, let me just pull it up real quick. It's like an app that like you rate like the food that you
Let me
have,
see.
and it'll tell you like makeup, goods, like drinks. This is Anthony, I swear. I'm just kidding. But like it'll tell you like why it's good, and then like
Wait,
the
this is
positives and why it's
cool.
bad.
And it does
okay,
like hair products, like hair products.
Everything.
Wait, that's so. How come I've never heard of this app? I'm definitely gonna like grab it.
yeah, you have to. It's like
Where do you-
careful.
wait,
You're gonna like
Wait, you're gonna get
you're
addicted to
gonna
it.
no, you're gonna throw a lot of things.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I also, you know what? One thing that like I can't like fuck with is like animal testing products.
No.
Oh God. You know what?
Dude,
What-
it's so common. I mean, I less and less, because now I feel like as a majority, people will be like, the animal test, I'm not buying it. Like you're seeing it come up a lot more than it used to in the past. But it's like it used to be just like totally casual to like just kill, like murder animals, like
Over like some mascara.
yeah, and like brutally, like their skin would burn, and it's
Oh
like,
my God.
oh, that's fine. That means that mascara is not good. Like that's wild. to
You know what?
me.
When I was little, I thought animal testing meant like literally just putting eyelashes on the thing.
No,
That's what I
saw.
thought.
I literally saw that TikTok. I swear this week where there was like, this is what I thought by animal testing. It's a cat with like some lashes, and I'm like,
I'm like, oh slay! Like they put the lipstick on the lips of the
You're
bunny.
like,
or
did she look
something.
cute though?
Yeah.
Did she look cute though?
oh my gosh.
I didn't know they were getting killed and brutally burned like that.
Yeah, it's actually wild.
my God.
But yeah, Yuka, UKA.
YUKA.
Yeah.
YUKA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Where were we when this died? It is. We had a conversation. Forbes.
Forbes. Okay. I
Forbes.
think, yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. All I remember is Forbes.
So we'll just
we just
leave-
cut
But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how you get in, and
college submission.
yeah. College
Oh, that's where we were.
College submission.
You did it. You did it. Yeah.
admission. So yeah, so it's just like a college application, and I know one soul can get there, like no doubt in my mind.
100%.
But it's me, Sean, and Anthony, and
So did they feature companies or people?
people. But like, if your company is ran by like 3 people,
It's gonna be all.
it's all 3.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because there's like these people that they said if you want your company, you at least need to have one person that's like under 30 to be on Forbes 30 under 30.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like
You're their
this-
ticket.
Yeah.
You're the
yeah,
ticket.
exactly.
Really.
Yeah. And then there's like the sorority, and like you get invited to like private events, and like Elon Musk
Ooh.
and like the Warren Buffetts like
Oh, no
years ago
way.
have like been part of these like I don't know if they're like seminars or private events, and it's like a network of like people. So
I love that.
Yeah.
that's really cool.
I always thought like being in Forbes 30 under 30 was like you had to be a multi-millionaire.
No, it actually has nothing to do with finances. They do say that as long as you make $1 million, it makes it a lot easier. But it's also things that you can do for like the environment. It's also like programs that you can create through your company that kind of stand out.
I see.
So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it. I believe it. Push through. Push
Yeah.
through.
I was saying
Honestly,
before you
Forbes
left,
up
like
there.
I see it, like 100%.
Oh, 100%,
Yeah.
without a doubt. Yeah.
Thank you.
How did he get into manifestation? like with your spirituality journey?
You know what? Manifestation, I'm going to say, has kind of been easy for me.
Yeah.
Because I think I was 13 or 14 years old, my mom started forcing me to read to her in the mornings. We lived in Southgate and I went to Venice High School. So it was like an hour and a half drive. And during that hour, I would sleep. And one day she's like, you know what? You're wasting your life. There's no more sleeping. You're going to get a book and you're going to read to me out loud. So I was like my mom's audiobook. And I hated it because I was so tired.
And you just wanted to sleep.
Yes, but it did great things for me. And she would make me read one book in English and then one book in Spanish. And so she made me read The Secret. The book, have you guys?
No.
It sounds so familiar, but I don't know if I've read it.
So The Secret is a book about manifestation. And it's about like the powers and the actual like facts about how manifesting in your life and, you know, controlling your mind and the voice in your head will really impact your entire future. And then simultaneously, my mom had me in this program called Landmark. And there was a teen forum. And in that teen forum, they make you say out loud what you want in life and like scream it and like write it down and like believe in it and do affirmations. And I was like 14 years old doing that.
That's such a good time to start. It's so lovely that you did it that age.
Yes. And I'm not going to say I was this great student, but I was like a straight A student. I graduated with a 4.3 GPA in high school. I got into, the only reason I didn't get into like USC, which was my dream school, or like anything like that, was because I was an immigrant and I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to financially get the help. And scholarships, like you heard of them, but I was like, there's no scholarships for someone like me because I didn't get my papers, my green card, until my second semester of college. So I did the route that was safest for me financially, which was community college, and did my 2 years. And after that, I transferred to Cal State Long Beach. So for me, I always wanted to do that, but I feel like I went like this whole way.
No, that's good. That's good.
But back to manifesting, I always knew that anything I set my mind to, I can accomplish. And then once I got older, I feel like it got more difficult because life comes at you unexpectedly and things happen out of your control. And some in your control, but kind of like environmental things out of your control. And I made a lot of wrong choices growing up in life, and I made a lot of mistakes, and that kind of like drifted me away from that knowledge that I knew very early on. But I knew once I hit rock bottom, I knew that I wanted to change my bad habits, and I started kind of applying everything I had learned when I was 14 and started listening to motivational videos on YouTube. Like I would literally put motivational speeches and I would listen to that instead of like music, sometimes driving. That really got me in tuned with like my purpose in life, and it became a lot easier to kind of let things flow and start kind of manifesting. And instead of manifesting, let's say like I want money, I'd be like, I just want to be able to have financial freedom. Because if you're trying to manifest money is just like $100 bills. That's not what you're trying to manifest. When you want money, it might be to buy your parents a home, or it might be to be able to travel and financially be able to, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So for me, I learned that through these motivational videos. And I started this journey of like, I can accomplish anything I want, but something holding me back is my mental health. And I need to work on that first. So that's kind of how like I got into manifesting, my journey with spirituality and all that.
I love that. I feel like with manifestation, it's like so hard because I feel like first you have to like oh my god, spirituality is just a journey, man. It's like people think it's like sunshine, like as you said, sunshine and butterflies, but like you'll have like rough patches where it's just like in some sense like a depressive episode, because I feel like in some sense you're like trying to kill your old self to like allow your new self to go. You know how they say you have to sacrifice your old life for your new life, like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a battle.
It
It
is a
is.
battle.
Mhm.
It is a battle, and then you don't want to kind of like destroy everything that old person was. There's some things you might want to take with you,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, how do you leave some stuff behind and take certain things with you? And I agree. I think entering into this spirituality is very hard, but at the same time, it's like it does make you stronger. Like facing your fears, facing like the root of like the trauma, the trigger, and figuring out how to let that go does give you this power. And I think that it's difficult, but you do come out stronger. As cliche as that may sound, you really do come out stronger mentally and physically too if you incorporate the gym.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. With manifestation and you basically saying like your sort of mental health is when you wanted to manifest and be spiritual, you're like, all right, well, I have a problem I have to deal with first, right? Like I have to address that. So you use that as sort of like a tool, right? I have a question that we discussed with our episode with Kevin is I think, or like I feel like self-limiting beliefs or like just having like a bad mental space are one of the most like limiting factors when it comes to moving forward, but especially moving forward in spirituality, right? Like if you are not confident in what you are and what you could accomplish, which is like a lot, right? Like we're more powerful than we think we are. It's hard to move forward. It's hard to put your work on your spirituality. It's hard to manifest anything into your life when you don't feel like you deserve those things, right? And you saying that you dealt with being depressed and having anxiety, I could almost without a doubt say you probably had like a bunch of self-limiting beliefs, right?
100%.
Where, yeah. What do you think, like what's the best advice you can give about self-limiting beliefs? Like how do you overcome them? What did you do at least?
I think something that really helped me, and it might not be for everyone, but it truly helped me, was reading. Being educated about what is mental health. Because if you don't know, then you're in the realm of, I don't know that I don't know why I'm feeling a certain way. But when you educate yourself, and it doesn't have to be books, it could be a course. If you're in college, it could be a film, it could be YouTube, it could be anything that calls you, a podcast, it could be anything that informs you and educates you about why it is that you're feeling the way you are. And I was listening to a podcast with Jay Shetty and Dr. Amen, who's a brain like neuroscientist, and he talked about like mental health and how it like actually physically carves into your brain. And that you can, but he also lets you know that you can reverse that through a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think just information. I was literally asked this question recently in a conversation with friends, and I was like, I truly believe education and educating yourself about mental health is so powerful, because then you know
It's not me.
it's not me.
Yeah.
At this moment, you feel like, well, I can't control this. Well, I can't do anything about it. I literally can't get out of bed. I literally don't know why out of the nowhere I'm having a panic attack. But when you educate yourself and you know why it is that you're feeling tired, why it is that you need extra hours of sleep, it's because your body's fighting physically and mentally those demons, literally. And so when you educate yourself of, okay, this is why I feel like this. I don't have control over that exactly. But what I do have control over is what I can do to help me with the other things, with my habits that will eventually help with this. Like there's another study that shows if you smile for 15 to 20 seconds, just smiling when you're sad, and you just smile, you actually release a chemical in your brain that actually releases like those happy emotion, dopamine. And it's like, how crazy that you just physically just like,
Yeah.
Fake
You
it
just
till
have
you
to
make
make
it.
that act.
but if you don't know that, then you're not gonna know.
Yeah,
And
the
so that's
tools
why
are
I
lacking.
think, that's why I think education is the most important start to working on your mental health.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah.
Agreed.
And you said you chose education through books.
Through books. I was in college, university, and I took some courses Like I took a psychology course. I took a course that was actually like a, I forgot the name of it, but where you plant food. Agriculture.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I forgot the name, but it was like agriculture. And that course was a requirement for business because I wanted to get into like the hospitality industry. At the moment, I thought that's the route I wanted to go. So like food is a big part of hospitality. So you had to take that as a requirement, or else I would never have taken that class. And that class changed my entire life. The teacher was extremely spiritual. She made us read every morning 10 minutes out loud a book called The Laws of Spirit, which is one of my top favorite books, like top 10 of my life. And it's like only like 80 or 100 pages. And it talks about your intuition. It talks about being in tune with yourself, how to give to receive. And she talked about talking to your plants and like the science of like how they actually grow. And like for one of our prerequisites in that class, we had to go and volunteer. And for me, it was this place called Food Finders, and you'd go to these people's homes who grow like their trees, and like the fruit goes bad, and then you like literally like grab them from the tree, and then you go and you give them to people that don't have money, like communities, less fortunate communities, to give them the fruit that grew from someone's backyard for free that was gonna rot. And
I love that.
What a cool volunteer opportunity.
it was amazing. It was an amazing experience, and yeah.
I love that. I didn't know about a program like that. Like, there's so many trees that I see like around my neighborhood that like they have so many fruits. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what a shame. But like, I wish like people knew about that program because they're like, I'm pretty sure they would like participate in it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
This is like a little bit of a tangent, but I just, something I've always said is like, I think professors and teachers like get so underpaid because I think they literally like set the tone for future generations. Like, think about that professor. Just because she had you read that book, right? I'm not saying she's the sole reason, but imagine
She was a big part.
Yeah. And she has and she's doing that to like 60 students. Like, that's so nuts.
Per like hour.
Yeah, and
that.
exactly. And look at
Yeah.
who you became today,
Yeah.
right? And the positive influence that you have, like, that's also beyond your reach, right? So she influenced one person. This is the only story that we know of. And you influence now millions, without a doubt, because of the reach that you have, the companies that, and just because she had them forcefully read 10 minutes, which in the beginning is probably just like your mom. It's just like, oh, so random. Like, what does this have to do with plants?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I kid you not. Like, I kid you not. I cannot make this up. I was literally just thinking about that topic today, driving from the gym back home. I went through Hollywood High School, and I just saw a teacher, and I was like, damn,
The impact.
just like the impact and like how fucked up it is. Sorry, excuse my French.
No, it's okay. We do it
How
all the time.
like okay, how fucked up it is that like
She said it
they're
louder.
so underpaid. How? Just kidding.
Yeah. They're like, they should be like doctors.
I agree.
They save lives if they're good teachers, of course, right?
Yeah.
So
if they're good teachers.
they
'cause-
literally could save lives.
Yeah.
They could save generations. You create like one good seed, and your impact goes beyond like measure.
You're shaping that
100%.
kid. You're shaping that kid.
Who's gonna have a family? Who's gonna have kids? Who's gonna reach a point in their lives that they could potentially, their impact could be larger than you could imagine. That's so
crazy.
nuts to me.
And that's like 95% of the population cannot skip school. So like everyone has to go through that.
yeah.
Literally.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Like, they're so underpaid for a path that literally, like,
You're making
Everyone's going-
society.
yeah,
100%.
literally,
Like not everyone is gonna go to the gym, right?
yeah.
But everyone has
It's
to
gonna
kinda
step in a
go,
classroom.
Yeah, through the school system. So I agree. I think they're very much underpaid, and I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
You said the book was called Law of Spirit,
The Law of Spirits. Yeah, the Law of Spirits.
and this
Something
is
like that.
about manifestation.
No,
and
it's about kind of like
intuition. You say.
intuition and tuning yourself into like the universe and earth, but like with tangible things like soil and just like your soul, and just like I think it's a beautiful book. Like I remember I let someone read it and I never saw the book back again. I need to buy it because I want to reread it.
Now,
I just I can't even tell you exactly what it was, but I can tell you that it impacted my life enough for me to remember that book, remember that class, remember that professor, and know that it has an impact today in my life. Yeah.
You know what? I feel like part of being spiritual is like you have to be grounded. You know, like, and I like grounded with nature, being with earth and stuff like that. Like, and again, like I feel like that is like a level of gratitude, and like with gratitude you get manifestation, and it's like all just so connected. So I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's also connected. I recently saw that you went on like not recently, but you went to, I believe it was
Cabo.
No, not
Cancun,
Cabo.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's what I meant to say.
I'm doing that for my birthday. You need to send me the information.
I will.
But
oh my god.
and also
so
you went to Armenia, right?
Yeah.
I think that's also very grounding as well. And I went to just Washington because that's like the closest
that looks
trip.
so beautiful. You need to send me all that info too.
Yeah, it
oh my god.
was so beautiful, and I think that in my free time, I really just enjoy nature. Like for my birthday, I went to Italy and Paris, and it was so beautiful. A lot of greenery, and that was just amazing. But there's nothing like going into the woods. And I'm sure I could have done that in Italy and Paris, but there was too much sightseeing to see.
Yeah, you like almost don't even have time. There's so much history, like all
so much history, which is another topic for another day. But like, just like hugging a tree. Yeah. And like, have you guys seen on TikTok where like you ask the plant to like touch you and the branch moves and it touches you?
Wait, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So it's like, it's insane, but you kind of say out loud, like, if you feel my energy, if you feel me, please touch my hand.
Is this a trend?
It's a trend.
Wait, shut up.
And the plants like will move like to touch it. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And so me and my sister-in-law Victoria tried it in Washington and it happened. And like, I don't share this often because I feel like some people just really don't believe in that.
Yeah. I
you
agree.
Can't force people to believe, you know? But like, how can you not? Like, it's like
they're living organisms. They sense energy.
Exactly. Yeah. They're why we are here. Like, they produce oxygen. Like, we breathe thanks to them. And it's just so magical. It was just such a magical trip. I truly feel like completely recharged. And I agree. I think that in order to be able to manifest, you have to ground yourself. You have to have a purpose for people. Like, yes, for you, like things you want to accomplish for yourself, but I think like for me, I'm happier when I'm doing something for someone else as opposed to for me. Like, I realized I love Christmas not because I'm receiving gifts, because I don't really receive them. It's because I'm giving them. And it's just such a beautiful feeling to give. And
I love that
whole thing. But
no, I love everything that you said, especially about like plants and things. When I was little, growing up, so both of my parents are very spiritual, and both of them have a deep connection with like plants and flowers. And growing up, we used to have this garden, and my mom and my dad would go around and like talk with our flowers, like my
so
trees.
cute.
And I was like, what the heck are they doing? They're crazy, you know? I didn't understand it, right? They would go around, water the plants, talk with them, touch them, and like be there with every single plant that we had. And then I noticed that my dad has never had a plant die on him. Ever.
Yeah, that's nuts for someone who like runs like
yeah.
He needs an award.
Literally.
Because I love plants and some have died on me, but I'm doing better.
Yeah, and I'm like, that is insane, because like not only are we giving them like water and sunlight, but it's like it shows you how impactful energy is. Yeah, the energy that I'm giving to plants, but the energy that I'm giving to a person is so impactful. Like, I'm seeing it with the plant because I could see if it's dying or not, but with it, like, it's insane. I'm a huge believer in energy.
Me too.
100%.
Yeah.
I am a huge believer in energy too. And even like this table.
Yeah.
Like, everything around us, this box
is made of
like,
energy.
I agree.
Everything, like cotton, our clothes, everything is energy. And it's so important to be giving or in a good state of mind and just like very grateful for everything and treat everything with love. And I need to show you guys this TikTok. Not me sourcing TikTok,
but we do it all the time. We do it all. Yeah.
It's like this study about plants and how they have feelings and emotions, and they just realized that. It was a recent research, and this person literally monitored with, like, you know how they monitor like our brains and stuff.
Yeah.
They monitored the plants, and they realized that when he would step out the room, their levels would go down just like a human would, and when he would come back into the room, it would spike up like they were excited
to see him,
same
like an
emotion,
animal would,
the
like a
same-
pet.
exactly. Then they lit up a match, and it spiked up insanely, like fear, like how we measure fear in our brain. Fear was showing up
That is
in
crazy.
theirs. And then another thing they did is they had a spider, and it like jumped out, and it freaked them out, like that, like, oh, like it did that to them. It spiked that to them. And to me, that was so insane and powerful. And then they were talking about how natives, native people used to worship the crops and the plants, and they'd have this entire ritual to make the plants grow, the crops grow. And to me, that was super, like, insanely powerful knowledge to know, because it also went to talk about how when he recorded eating an apple
in front of them,
they freaked out.
Wait, wow.
They freaked out. But listen to this. He, right before taking another bite on the same apple, said, "Thank you so much for the nutrients that you give to me in my body." Took another bite, and they were just calm.
Shut up.
I'm not.
I just got chills too, bro.
I'm not
getting chills.
kidding. I will
What the
show you. I
heck?
have that saved. I sent it to like my whole family. I'm
I'm
like,
about
if you
to start standing in front of my plants. Thank you. Like, I never realized that my apples were traumatizing them. I'm like, thank you for
it's energy, but they're like a lot smarter than we
Yeah.
know or we think.
Wow, bro,
And
that's beautiful.
It's so beautiful, and it's so funny because I do that. Like, it's kind of like prayer.
It is prayer.
It's prayer.
It is, yeah.
gratitude for your
It's
food.
gratitude for your
Yeah.
food. It's like, thank you, God, for my food, and may this bless me and bless blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Amen. And
Yeah.
you take it. It's the same thing.
It is.
It just doesn't matter what religion you believe in, where you come from, whether you call it spirituality or religion or God or whatever it is. It's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
this gratitude towards something bigger that we can't even explain, called God, right? Bigger than anything we know. And then it's gratitude towards people, being good to people, doing good to the environment, to earth, and to others. And good things will come to you naturally. And so that's where I stand on.
Wow. I love that.
I have to see that.
I will show
Yeah,
you.
I have to
Oh,
because
I will
that
show you.
literally blew my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's powerful. I will for sure show you.
Oh
I have
my
it saved
God.
on
Yeah.
my phone.
Yeah.
I'll look for it at the end and show it, and we'll put the link
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
everyone to
See,
see it.
it just shows you how, like, how much we don't know. You know?
Well,
How
yeah,
much
we don't know more than we know, for sure.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy thing because we know a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like we know a lot about our bodies, we know a lot about our minds, the environment, but it's like we know less than we don't know. That's crazy to me.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you think about it, our brains only unlock like what? Is it like 9% or 6%?
I don't know.
Or something
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
70%.
No,
Mm.
not 70. It's like 7. It's like in before the tens.
Oh,
Like we only know how to access
10% of our brain?
like less
Yeah.
than 10% of our
Whoa.
brain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine that was like doubled.
It's like the movie Lucy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just
So
saw that
dumb.
movie for the first time like a month ago.
No, it's
I
such a
was
good movie.
But yeah, we only know a very small, right?
Mhm.
I
It's
don't
like less
I
than
remember
10%?
hearing something about that, but I don't know the exact.
I don't know the
Yeah.
exact
but
percentage,
yeah.
but like a very, very small percentage.
That is insane.
So we definitely don't know a lot.
Or like the
Yeah.
ocean. Like the ocean, we literally know almost virtually
The ocean
nothing
scares
about.
me,
That's what
but
I'm
I'm
saying.
so fascinated by
Yeah.
it. But I'm just
it
like, whoa.
scares me too, but
Yeah.
I'm also fascinated.
Me too.
by
Me
it.
too. I'm on the same
Like I don't want to
stance.
be swimming in it deeply, but I'd admire it from afar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't gone swimming in.
I love swimming in the ocean.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
when I'm swimming in the ocean, I'm like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. But again, I'm like, I don't know what's beneath me, and I hope it doesn't attack me. Like that's how I am.
I am 100% the same way because
Yeah.
like when I like jump off the boat, I'm like, what if there's like something
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
there? And I like
Huge.
kick it and like they get mad.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah. I'm
attack
always
me.
scared. I'm always
Yeah.
scared I'm gonna aggravate something below me.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
by
I
like
didn't
bi-
mean to.
Or like it's staring at me from below.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's scary.
But
Yeah.
I love swimming in the ocean,
Yeah.
but it's just so scary.
It is scary.
It's like I wish it was like I could like be bubble wrapped.
Yeah.
You know?
You could like a submarine,
Yeah.
right? Like you're like
True.
bubble wrapped underwater.
Do you believe in the megalodon, and do you believe that it's still alive?
Wait, what's the megalodon?
The
100%.
huge shark. It's like
Wait, I don't know
biggest-
anything
a
about this.
prehistoric like dinosaur shark
Yeah.
that's like I
Like
don't know how
50
many.
feet.
Yeah, it's like crazy, insanely huge.
Yeah.
I do believe in that.
I
I
believe
believe
it.
in mermaids too.
I
Do you
believe
believe in
it, yeah.
mermaids?
Wait, I believe there's things that we couldn't even imagine. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I
yeah,
feel
fuck
like-
yeah, throw mermaids in
feel-
there. You know what I'm saying? Like I 100% think there could be.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, we only know like
Yeah,
6%
at this
of
point,
the
yeah.
ocean.
Yeah,
like,
that's nuts.
Maybe not
Yeah.
glorified in the way that we in like
Yeah.
Hollywood has made
not
it, but
Ariel, but
I yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
like
not
half
Ariel.
human, half fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
I feel like
Actually,
I feel like if it's there, it's happened.
yeah.
You know, if we're thinking about it,
Like there's
It's happened.
too much history on it to like someone couldn't have just made that up in their head.
yeah. Have you seen
Such a
those
weird thing to
videos
make up, right?
online?
Yes, where they sing and where they like
Yeah.
supposedly have like. I
Wait,
believe
what?
it.
Wait, what are we?
Yes.
how have I not seen any of these things you guys are talking about?
You
Like,
guys, my TikTok is literally filled with like videos like that.
Wait, really?
Mhm.
It's like in like Tanzania or something.
Tanzania or something, and it's like this guy, right?
Yeah.
That goes in like the middle of. He's like a fisherman, but like those like hardcore ones where they go like in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
at like 3 a.m. in the morning,
Yeah.
and like fishes. And he actually got his TikTok taken down.
Okay.
And then remember his videos kept getting taken down, and he made them again. I think he recovered it because he was like, this is not fair. I'm not violating any community guidelines. Why do you guys keep
That's
taking my videos?
sus.
That is kind of sus. I do
Mhm.
feel like it's not in the best benefit for like the government to give us so much access to all the knowledge,
Yeah.
because with
Mhm.
more knowledge you become more powerful.
Yeah.
Goes
Yeah.
back to like the mental health thing.
Mhm.
More knowledge becomes
Wow.
more powerful, and they don't want us to be so
I definitely think they
aware.
have reservations about things 100%. Like if they especially with the tools that they have, I feel like they for sure could know more than we as average human beings
Oh,
would know.
100%.
So and that's in their
Yeah.
benefit, of course, always.
Of course.
Area
like-
51.
That's what I was
What's
that's
in
what I-
there?
You
that's what I was
believe in
thinking.
aliens?
Dude, hold
Open
on.
the
Of
door.
course.
I'm
Like without
so,
a doubt, you're telling me the
100%.
universe is growing as we speak, and we are the only things.
I
to exist?
believe
I
in
don't
them.
believe.
Do you think they're like good people?
I think
feel like
I
they-
think there's it could
good
be
and
both.
bad.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just like, are we good people? Like, let me tell you something. If we found a planet with life, I feel like genuinely, this is just obviously just me thinking, right? If we found another planet suitable for life like ours, and there was people on there, we would just kill them and take
I-
it and be like, our planet is about to die.
We're definitely
so
not
we would,
good
I
people.
wouldn't agree with that, but I believe that we would definitely do that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so we would
Yeah.
be bad in this universe. But would we consider ourselves bad? We're like, oh, we hope no one attacks us. But it's like we would attack them if we found a planet. 100%.
That's why I'm like
We would be evil.
I'm anti us going to Mars. I'm anti us.
But there's nothing on Mars.
But there's nothing on Mars, so I'm
not that we know of.
not that we know of. True.
Wait, but
because-
didn't they like hella like explore Mars?
But
Like
they
Mars
could,
is
they
like,
could show us something and
But you
keep
know
the
what?
other-
you know what? Like that actually, like when I think about that, sends my mind in like turmoil.
They just they successfully landed a something, and it released successfully CO2, which is what we need to breathe.
Yeah.
Wait,
Carbon.
no, carbon.
That's carbon dioxide.
Oxygen.
But that's
No,
they work
oxygen.
in
Oxygen.
they work in like a cycle.
Yeah.
So that
So
that would
CO2
make
goes
sense,
CO2. Yeah. And I heard that they found signs of life. They saw water that used to be
Oh
in Mars.
yes.
So it shows
I
that
heard
there was life there.
Mhm.
And I feel like if there was life there, there is definitely life right now there. Probably hiding in the gimmicks or something like that.
Yeah. If there
Yeah.
was life there, I would never want to
Interrupt it.
interrupt it.
Yeah.
But if there's not life and like Earth is like
Put me on
dying,
Mars.
like all the things that are happening in the world right now.
Get me out.
Yeah, this
I
is not
would love
nice.
Mars.
But you know what? I think we have the power to reverse it.
I think so
by
too.
Yeah.
Showing love to nature and other people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you can show gratitude and love to plants, to what you eat, to the environment, doing the best you can, and to others as well, we can advance. Because right now, I feel like we're doing the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why everything is happening.
It's too much greed in the world.
100%.
that is why.
Yeah.
Too much people in power just want to like,
Like,
But
for
it's
what?
like, bro,
Yeah,
that money.
it's so hard to get rid of that.
Yeah.
You
though.
only get
It's
to
like this
live like 90 years.
Like people like
and
that.
they milk that shit. They're 80, sitting there just still fighting for power. It's like, just rest.
Live a little. Go on a nature walk. Go
No,
on a hike.
actually, like just for a moment, stop.
It's
like so
please,
weird.
just breathe. Just close your eyes and follow me. Follow me
We
through
want
this
them
breath.
to go through a yoga session.
Seriously.
We start
I
a
will invite you
non-profit.
personally to my yoga.
I
Tuesdays and
can't.
Thursdays. You guys need to come.
I'm so down. I keep on
Like
saying that, but
before I
honestly, I'm
leave,
down.
we're gonna plan a date, and you guys are going because I do sound healing.
I love sound baths.
It's so powerful.
Listen, I've been seeing your stories. Like you have to lock eyes and promise me. There is a guy here in Westwood. He's
Yes.
called the Gong Guy.
the gong guy.
His sound bath experience.
I will go.
You
Oh, I will go.
okay? I needed
We
that
will
from-
go.
Let's
I
go.
need. I went. I bawled my eyes
Oh, we
out.
need
So
to
did everyone else
go.
in the room.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah. So you have to send it. You would love it.
Oh,
You
I
would
will
love it.
for sure. Absolutely,
do it.
100% locking eyes.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
will go.
love that.
I just recently started doing it, and I feel the entire vibration throughout my body,
Mhm.
and it's insane because I feel like these circles around my hand. And I was like, what is it? So I Googled it, and apparently it's just like source energy going through you.
Mhm.
But like, I feel it. Like, energy is real. I'm not crazy.
No, you're
Like,
not crazy.
it's like intense. Like, my intuition is very in tuned, and I'm working on it to be more, but my intuition is truly in tuned, and I feel things I don't think the average person feels because they have so much blockage.
Mhm.
And if they did the work, they can definitely feel it too. 'Cause we are
100%.
all one
Soul.
Exactly.
soul.
Exactly.
not an ad.
Yes.
But another thing, dude, is just that in itself. So this is what I always say to people who aren't spiritual, right? Like, to each their own. I totally get it. Like, I really do get it. You know, there's people who literally just believe like there's no rhyme or reason to what we. It's like just like it's random. You know, like there's so many different beliefs. There's being spiritual. There's being religious, which I believe are the same as well.
I believe are the same,
Yeah.
yes.
But I always tell people this. I say like, dude, like everyone recalls intuition. Like, dude, you have those moments. Everyone recalls. Like, I don't believe in coincidences. When there's those absurd coincidences, I always tell people like, you're telling me of all. Yeah, she's like library clapping. I'm like, you're telling me of all the random events that could occur. Your friend that you haven't talked to in 3 years texts you the minute you think about them.
Yeah.
Like that's absurd to believe. In my eyes, to believe that was just random. There's some coincidences that you can like overlay as random, but everyone's had at least one of those interactions, one of those intuition calls. It's like where you just like love somebody forever, and then all of a sudden it's like your best friend. All of a sudden you're like, wait, I feel like they're doing me wrong.
Yeah.
No,
And it's
they
like out
are.
of nowhere, and they are. It's like out
They're
of
like
nowhere.
doing you so wrong.
dirty, and you had no reason to
Damn.
think that, you know. And it's like I always tell people like, where do you think that's coming from? It's literally like we have more knowledge just in our bodies, in our minds, than you can ever ask for from an outsource.
We can't even comprehend it. We just
Yeah.
feel it.
No.
That's
I
all.
need to share something that recently happened. So recently, I got so obsessed with quantum physics, and I got crazy, and I told Anthony, I'm like, I think I want to go back to school.
Yeah,
and I think I want to like research quantum physics.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
That like
She's
I
like,
kinda
drop
gotta-
the companies. I'm being a
Yeah,
physicist.
Yes, I'm like, babe, you have to handle this because I need to be a quantum physicist because I know there's more.
Yeah.
And I want to share it all. I want to share all the secrets. So I started listening to Nikola Tesla's life, and I was listening to a YouTube video, and I told Anthony, I'm like, and it was like super random. I told Anthony, we never really listened to podcast or videos together. And I told him, I'm like, hey, instead of listening to music, I'm kind of just like over this song, like this music genre right now. Like, can I play a video? And then he's like, yeah, of course. And so I played a video on Nikola Tesla's life and like, you know, even Elon Musk and how he named Tesla as an inspiration for Nikola Tesla and who this man was and blah, blah, blah. And I'm so intrigued. And he's talking about quantum physics and like how everything is literally energy, like what you literally just said. It's not a coincidence. Is that your mind sends a signal, a vibration.
There's a connectivity.
And the universe aligns with it because there's all this alignment and we are literally a body of energy. And it just happens to be that like it aligns. And I do not believe at all in coincidences.
Me either.
They happen for a reason. We or someone else in alignment manifested them. And I was telling him, I'm like, Anthony, like there's so much more to the universe like that we know. And like we are such powerful beings, like we can literally change the world.
Absolutely.
And I got into this like, Anthony, we can change the world. Like
so
we can
cute.
if I get into quantum physics and I just learn a little bit more.
She said, "If I."
Yeah, and I'm
That's
like,
so cute. I
was
love
like,
that.
If I just like take some courses, I don't have to go back to school. I don't have to like if I just
the
take
knowledge
some
on
courses,
it.
like the knowledge of quantum physics, which is like solemnly after everything what you believe. It's like right the science of energy and the universe and the laws of the universe. So tell me why we're going to my cousin. It's his name's Elliot. It was his birthday. We go with the whole family. We leave our car in valet, go have dinner. I'm telling my cousins about like
Quantum
physics. And like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I go back to school? And then they're like, well, I mean, you don't have to go back to school. Maybe you can just like take some courses or learn about it. I'm like, you're right. Yeah, because that would be too much. Okay, whatever. I come back out and the valet guy is not there. And I'm like, bro, where is the valet guy? We need to go. Like, you know, and where's our key? So we go like to the desk. We walk all the way to the desk to see if they left our key there because there's no valet guy. And I'm like, okay, how are we going to get our car? And I look down and there's a book.
Quantum physics book.
On Nikola Tesla.
Wait,
Yeah.
And
Like,
I have a picture of it.
Ow.
And Anthony's my witness. And I literally took a screenshot of my last video on YouTube that I literally wrote there and then like talk to my family about it. And I come out and
it's
the
like
guy, the valet
affirmation.
guy. No, I'm serious. I have the picture. I will show you.
Yeah.
His birthday is on July 1st. So I just go back to July 1st and I will show you guys this picture. And I told Anthony, like, I literally was like,
yeah, it's like
no,
affirming what you
like,
wanted to do.
This is insane, Anthony. And I didn't know exactly what message it was trying to say besides that the universe does align. That was like the only message I can get. The universe and energy is real. And if you just set out good intentions, good or bad, unfortunately, but good ones have more power, I do believe, right? Good intentions in the world, like good things will happen to the world.
And in return to you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I
have had a lot of instances like that.
Yeah.
So I know coincidences aren't a thing.
It's
like
meant.
it's meant.
It's meant. Absolutely. Your obsession with physics, by the way, right, is the reason I started my spirituality journey. I was in like college, took a physics class. He was talking about the universe and just the way the universe works. And he said something and I was like, dude, it's like the same thing. Like we are a part of something so big and so great. Like that's and I was like, I can't even fathom it at this point. And that's when I was like, I want to be connected to whatever that connectivity is. Like I don't want to be a bystander that just exists in the connectivity and has no knowledge of it, doesn't embrace it. I was like, I know we're connected and I want to learn to be a part of that connectivity. Yes. And in that physics class, what basically, just to summarize very quickly what we learned about, it was the fact that like in order for in the universe, the sequence of events to happen, in order for things to exist the way that they exist right now, it had to be such a perfect order that it's like, yes, science says that order is possible to be randomized because it is. Like, it's like if the order is like, I have to touch your hand and then you have to kiss her forehead and then she has to hold my hand. It's possible at random for that to happen. It is. But it's like not very possible, right? It's almost like there had to be some communication. There had to be something to happen with the volcanoes, with the mountains, in perfect order for that to happen. And he goes, like, in the universe, it's called dark energy or something like that, whatever the word is, black energy, dark energy. He's like
dark hole?
Oh
Black
no,
hole?
that's black hole's a little different, but this
Okay.
was like almost like everything that surrounded everything in the universe was almost guiding it. He says there was he literally verbatim said, my professor, it's almost like they were speaking a language to each other when they had no words,
That's beautiful.
when they had no mouths to speak, when they were inanimate objects, some of these things. So then I was like, and he's like, and this is and to say theory in science means it's not just an idea someone thought of. Theory is almost like there's so much to back it up, right? It's not law, but it's a theory. And it's like, that is so crazy. Like everything in the universe aligned a very specific way, not just by coincidence. It literally feels like they spoke to each other and they communicated to request that. It's almost like when we manifest without speaking, when we sit next to someone and we know exactly, like we feel each other, and it's because that feeling, that communication between us existed even in inanimate objects that were here before we were. That's nuts.
100%.
The minute he said that, I was like, I'm sold.
Whoa.
Yeah, just like
You're
you, I
like,
was like, I'm
whoa.
gonna become Nicholas Tesla.
Yeah. I was like, damn, if I just would have known that this is the route I would have wanted to take.
yeah.
But I think everything happens for a reason, and I am obsessed
I'm
with
obs-
quantum physics and like the science of things.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
And you know what's ironic? Why does our insides look like the universe?
Yes.
Have
your
you seen? Yeah.
Wait,
Have-
I didn't even
have
think
the
about
nebula,
Have
the nebula, and your eye.
yeah, the nebula in your eye, and also our cells represent the solar system.
Yes.
this. Yeah.
I've seen that.
That is insane.
Yes.
Like literally, our cells represent the solar system, bro.
yeah.
we need to like.
atom.
You guys need to
The
put like
atom.
little images.
the
'Cause there's, like,
atom with the electrons running
Yeah.
around it like planets.
just every like literally our eyes.
It's because
our
we all
heart,
were
like,
literally one.
We
Does
are
that make
the
We are
sense?
all
universe.
one.
No.
Yes.
The universe
even
is in us.
like the
Yes.
Big Bang.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it started with. That's where the theory of
We
the
start from
communication.
that.
Yes.
That's why we're also connected to everything. That's we're
Yeah.
connected to plants, to trees. We feel the energy over here. We feel the energy there. It's because
Because-
we are the energy. Because energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
Facts.
It could only be transferred.
Transferred.
Yes, facts. And look,
Damn,
listen.
look at us. Let's go.
Yeah, Nicholas Tesla the third.
The third.
I know he's looking at us proud right
He's
now.
like, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just because everything came from one. Everything came from a single thing, and it's like whether you believe in the Big Bang or you believe in Adam and Eve, didn't you come from one,
Yeah.
right? So it's like it is one source of life, whether that life started off like as a Big Bang, but then it's like you outsourced into millions of lives, millions of things, but it's like there is zero way for the connectivity to be lost when it
100%.
comes from one source. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? So it's like it's mind blowing that like things communicate with each other even when you're not opening your mouth.
Well, they say aliens don't talk; they communicate without words.
Yeah.
I mean,
Energy.
if it's true, I don't know because I've never
Yeah.
seen one.
Yeah.
But you always just hear that, right?
Yeah. Like the movies.
Yeah.
I've never seen an alien talk.
There's
They
a
just like
course that popped up in my YouTube ads, and it was talking about how I need to look into it, but how you go into data and like that, like deep sleep or whatever,
Mhm.
like
REM
sleep, REM sleep, but like you're awake, but you can get there.
oh,
and
lucid
then
dreaming. That's where
lucid,
lucid
kind of-
dreaming happens.
Yes, kind of like that. But it's a course where they're teaching young kids and like some adults to be able to close their eyes and be able to say, she has this colored shirt and this is placed here. And I mean, I don't know the validity of that, how true that is, but it came up on my YouTube ad as like take the course and to like become so in tuned that like without your vision you can see past things.
Wait, let me tell you something. I have to ask you something first.
Yes,
Have you ever
yes.
experienced sleep paralysis?
I have,
Listen,
and it's insane.
But listen to this. This changed I read a book, dude. I told Nona about this the other day. Your shoes are super cute. I've been like up close and personal with them under the table.
She's like, I've created a bond with them.
Yeah, seriously, I went down there.
The universe is telling me I need to go get them
I love that.
This is not a coincidence. I know. I'm like plants video, Nikola Tesla book.
Yeah.
I got
So many things, like to-do list after this.
to do.
After I'm gonna go home. Who is Nicholas?
Yeah, no, it's so
Go home and
good.
Short
order
summary.
Amazon.
You know what? He is very quickly, like 2 minutes.
Mhm.
he basically was able to source energy, like thanks to Edison, Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Thanks to Nikola Tesla,
Edison
kind of came about. He kind of discovered how to like the Wi-Fi remote and how to do all that connection. He discovered, and he was such a selfless man. He died at like 80, alone in his apartment, broke as hell, because he refused to kind of be bought out by these big corporations and stuff, which is now called Edison, and he just wanted to do better and advance humanity, and he did that. That's why Elon Musk named Tesla after him, because he was really inspired by what he was trying to do. But such a selfless, good, intelligent man.
Yeah, interesting.
He got taken advantage a lot too.
100%.
So sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back to sleep paralysis. Yeah, I've definitely felt that, and tell me more.
I'm about to blow your mind. Listen,
oh
so
my gosh.
I experienced sleep paralysis. And then, of course, I hate that feeling of sleep paralysis. It stopped me from, like, I had developed such a good habit of sleeping on my back. It was really good for you. And then it would only happen when I was really tired and I would sleep on my back. I would go through that weird, like, conscious but not conscious, unconscious state. And sometimes it's very scary just because it's such a foreign experience that, like, I would wake up so alarmed and so anxious, right? Like, you jolt up almost every single time. And we talk about all the time, like, I hate waking up like that. It sets the tone for the rest of my day. That's why my alarms are a little, like, ding, ding, ding. Like, they're super soft because I want to wake up, like, happy to be up. You know what I'm saying? So I stopped sleeping on my back, whatever. Like, it ruined me. Because not it ruined me like that, seriously, but took so long for me to develop that habit, but whatever. Like, I got over it. It's more scary as soon as you wake up than it is later. Like, I don't care that I've experienced it. It happened to me a few times, right? But then I read this book. And this girl, literally, this entire book, I'll figure out the name if you want it, because it's, like, on my shelf. But it's about, she talks about, the human element. That's the book. She talks about how the only thing that you need to know, basically, in this life is that everything is connected and everything is one, and that your mind your mind and you exist outside of your body. So you have the answers for everything that you need. Because if you don't see it, that doesn't mean you don't have the answers, because we exist outside of our bodies more than we do inside of our bodies. And she says she uses why she came to this theory or started to get intrigued by this through sleep paralysis. And she says something that blew my mind. She said that when she was experiencing sleep paralysis, her body was centered on her bed, right? It's not moving, you're sleeping, you're laying in your bed. But she knew what was happening in her other rooms. She could roam.
Me too.
Yeah, it's like I'm laying in my bed and I see my living room.
Yeah, me too.
I knew my TV was on. I knew what my kitchen looked like. And this wasn't just like, it's like, I see it.
Oh.
Yes, but it's like your body's stationary.
Yeah.
And she's like I think in the book I can't remember what it is, but imagine, like, she basically talks about, like, she sees what's going on in her living room. Like, she's present there even though she's on her bed. And that's how she knew she existed in a greater realm than just her body. And I was like, oh my God, sleep paralysis is beautiful. Like, it's enlightening.
Did you see, like, with sleep paralysis, did you see anything?
So I didn't see.
I heard about
I
these.
felt.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, I've had it a few times, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe I've seen things. But for me, it was a lot of, like, feeling things. Like, feeling something in the corner of my room and wanting to wake up and not being able to. Like, that's what once I had a sleep paralysis that was, like, sort of funny. It was my most recent one. It was like my mom was in my kitchen, like, when I was younger, and she was like, Autumn, wake up. You're going to be late, Autumn, wake up. And then but it was on repeat and would get louder and louder. I kept trying to wake up. So then I would hear my sister whisper in my ear, and I would feel her whisper. Like, I would feel the breath on my neck. And she'd be like, Autumn, wake up. Just like she would when I was younger. Like, if my mom couldn't get me up, my sister would whisper in my ear. I was just on repeat hearing her, like, blow air into my ear. That's my most recent one. But yeah, I feel
think
like
that's
I definitely
beautiful. I do think that's beautiful. My experience with sleep paralysis was a little scary because I saw this black cloud.
Yes.
And I saw, like, I physically saw this, it had no face, but it had a black cape.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
it
figures.
It had a black cape, and it didn't do anything to me, but it sat right next to me, and I'm like,
I want to get away.
Like, I want to get up. I'm freaking out,
Mhm.
and I could hear the entire conversation my aunt is having with her husband.
You see, that's what I'm
In the
talking
other
about.
room.
That's what I'm
And
talking about.
If Angie is watching this, she knows because I told them the entire conversation they were having. And she's like,
But normally you can't hear that from your room. It's like you hear
no,
pss, pss,
it
pss,
was
but
3 rooms away. It was impossible for me to hear.
you get what I'm saying?
She was
It's
having a
so
little argument
crazy.
with her husband, and I was like, I don't know what just happened. It was the first time it had happened to me. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know that term was called sleep paralysis. I was just like, what the hell is going on? And it was a black like cloud, one thing, and then the second thing was I was sleeping like this, how you said. I heard you get it that way. Like, it's a lot more common for it to happen. And it just sat next to me, literally like this. Obviously, I'm laying, and like looks at me, obviously, let's say. And he just like looks at me, but he's not doing anything.
That's just the
He's just
presence.
staring at me. And I'm like, please, it's going to kill me or it's going to harm me. And finally, I was able to like reach my phone, and I freaked out and I started crying, and I ran to my aunt's room and I was like, I don't know what just happened. And she was so confused. She was more like, why were you over listening to my conversation? I'm like, I wasn't. I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. But
That is so scary.
it was very scary. I've never experienced it again, but I felt actually times where I'm like, wake up, and I'm like trying
Your
to. And I'm
body's
like,
numb.
just try to fight it. Just try to just like, it'll just take one, and you'll be like, and then you
Yeah.
get up, and
Yeah.
you're like, whoa. But
Mm.
I think it could be a beautiful thing. I think that my grandma's house has always had like some negative energy because they've always seen things or like heard things, or like, I don't know, maybe it's like a death from like many years ago and then they bought the property. I don't
Yeah.
know, but I don't really see things like ghost. I've never experienced that
Me
ever in
either.
my life. I've never seen, heard anything paranormal, but I've had sleep paralysis, but that happened to me and that freaked me out.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
scary.
it's definitely scary because, like, we're so used to our minds and bodies working like without our signals. Like, it's so subconscious. Like, I want to reach for this, and there's a million things that happen, but I have no part in it. So then, when you're removed from the control, you're like, get the fuck up, and you can't. Like, that's the only time ever in your life you're gonna experience your mind and your body disconnecting. It is so scary.
Have you felt that, Nona?
No.
It's
I haven't.
intense.
And I sleep on my back all the time.
Really?
Like I sleep like this all the time.
Oh my gosh, I
And
need
I'm
it.
knocking on wood because I never want to experience
I don't think
that.
it comes solely from that. I think it has to do with like being a little bit tired,
like really tired.
Yeah, like you have to be in this state of like being half awake and half asleep. And I felt like it's happened to me mostly when I'm on my back, but exhausted. Like I'll just
Same.
crash. And then when I wake up, it's in this like weird limbo of being there, but not being there.
100%.
Yeah.
I agree. I
That's
think it
crazy.
happens when you're on your back
Mhm.
and when you're extremely tired.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I mean, hopefully, if you experience it ever, knock on
It's
wood, not.
neg-
But if you
not
do,
negative.
may it be something more positive. I think it's beautiful that you heard your mom and your sister, and because you know how they say that like time doesn't exist. I don't know if I like believe or not. It's not that I don't believe. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
But how they say past, present, future is all happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
in
It's about where
one.
you stand. Like you learn this in physics, by the way.
Yeah.
You learn this in physics because
Yeah.
time is different based off your location.
Yeah.
Because it's like a construct. Like if you keep reading it, it's gonna come up, and it's like so
Yeah.
It
interesting.
reminds me of the twin paradox by Einstein.
The
What is
twin
that?
paradox.
Oh, let me tell you, this
Oh,
is my
this-
favorite.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, in physics, we learned about the twin paradox. Basically, if you have a twin, they're the same, right? Same age, everything. Twin, one person's on Earth, one person's in space near a black hole. And like 2 months go by, right? So the person on Earth is 2 months older, but the person in the black hole would age 50 years or something like that.
wow.
Or was it like different? I think it was like 50 years goes by and the person on Earth ages, but the person near black hole doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and
that's
that's
actually a
trippy.
true thing. It's a true
No,
thing.
I believe it. I mean,
Yeah.
we measure in space. We measure it by years, light
Mhm.
years. And they say if someone traveled, an alien traveled 200,000 light years away, they're
Mhm.
looking at Earth 200,000
Yeah.
years
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
So they'd be seeing like dinosaurs. Don't quote me on that. I
Exactly.
don't know how long, but just like an example.
yeah.
It's like when we take
us.
pictures as well. They're old pictures of like NASA will
Yeah.
release pictures of like a planet, but it's like that picture of that planet is
look like
years old.
That's what I
Yeah.
don't like. Like I comprehend it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
abstract for sure.
But I'm like, okay, so if they try to communicate with us, but they're from 200,000 years ago, are they communicating with dinosaurs or with us?
Maybe.
That's what I don't understand.
Have
I
you
think
seen
it
the
would
movie?
reach us, but then it's like, is it even valid anymore? Because at that point, it's like, that was 200 years ago for them. Do they even exist?
Two things
I
I gotta
think-
say.
Uh-huh.
That just reminded me of that one thing. Remember on the news where we heard, it's like we heard a noise from space?
I don't remember
Yes,
this.
I
You heard
heard.
it.
I heard.
This entire podcast has been you guys knowing what. That's so funny to me. You guys both have that information. I'm just like, wait, what the?
no, I heard about that. It
The
made
noise.
a sound.
Yeah, it
and
made a sound.
Yeah, and they thought it was like silent, but they heard sound.
Wait.
That's
Recap.
crazy.
Yeah.
You gonna say?
I don't
I don't
fully know
remember
it,
that
but yeah, it was just basically like recently, like
Yeah.
I want to say in the last 3 to 6 months,
Yeah.
news came out that the universe, like they were able to find sound, and they played the sound, and it was like this like insane sound,
Yeah.
and they basically were saying, or from what I understood, is that the universe has no sound,
Yeah.
but they found sound.
Yeah.
Just weird in the depths of
It's
the
just weird.
universe.
But you know what? Have you seen the studies of like sound healing?
Of course. Yeah.
Like it's like sound is vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikola Tesla said to understand the universe, you have to understand it in
Vibrations.
vibrations, frequencies, and energy.
Mm-hmm.
Physics.
So
Yeah.
physics, and also sound is vibration. So when you play, so if you play a certain tune and you have it on a speaker and you put sand, it aligns geometrically
with the vibe.
with the sound, which goes back to what you were saying about the universe, where it was spaced almost perfectly.
Oh my! You think
because
there's a
it's like
sound there
geomet-
that's like control?
Oh.
Wait, hold on. That's actually so trippy because if we
Yeah.
discover, wait, stop it right now. We just unlocked something so crazy.
no, because I didn't think of it that way.
Because
yes.
if there's sound, the sound was guiding them. Probably that
The
was their
sound was
that
guiding
was their
them?
language. People are gonna be like, these bitches got high before this podcast episode. But because if that's a
No.
recent discovery, I wouldn't doubt
Yeah,
that
it
the
was
sound
recent.
vibrations had influence on the
adding
things.
to the list, sound, so we can show Arif. Yeah.
Wait, I'm tripped out because
Whoa.
that's very possible.
Oh, 100%. I think that sound is. I mean,
Wait, where did they
we listen
discover
to
this
music.
sound? Like, did
This
they
is
like just
recently.
random
In the depths
no,
of the
like in the
universe.
depths of the universe, but like an actual device.
Yeah.
And they play it. You could hear the
Yeah,
sound.
yeah, yeah.
We'll look for it
Yeah.
for you. So I forgot what it sounded like,
Is
but
it
I remember just being like,
It's like the space sounds.
but it's
It's
insane.
It's like, I don't know.
It's like, you know how they say that doing the
Yeah.
meditation is like the sound of the universe?
Yeah. That's how it kind of sounded like. A little bit.
I'm gonna vomit.
Oh, just kidding. Oh.
Bro, that's insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
You know, have you guys seen the movie Interstellar?
Oh, dude, everyone tells me to watch that movie. I fall
I need
asleep
to
10
watch
minutes in
it.
every single time.
I need to
It's
watch
such
it.
A,
I fall asleep really easily
Me
in
too.
movies.
Okay,
I
look,
suck
it's
at
hard
watching
to
movies.
watch.
too. I can't get through them.
Me either. I don't know what it is.
It could be 2
Anthony,
p.m. You put it on, I'm dead asleep.
I'm dead
Yeah.
asleep. It could be at any time of the day.
Yeah.
Like Anthony hates it. He'll be like, "Babe," I'm like, "Movie night." And he's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I just want to stay in and watch movies." Like, you never watch movies with me.
I watched the movie, not you. You just sleep next to him.
And then he'll be like, "Can I play this movie?" He's like, "Babe, for what? For you to sleep too?" Let me just choose.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Let me just choose. I'm done. No, bro. Okay, Interstellar. It's a tough movie to watch just because it's really boring, but it's fascinating. Like you gotta push through. You know, like
Yeah.
you just gotta force
Mhm.
yourself because like, oh my god, it talks about time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It talks about time, and I can't even explain it because it's like hard to explain, but it mind fucks you.
Yeah, I heard
It
great things about
mind fucks
Interstellar.
you.
I
It is
haven't.
such
I've
a great
heard.
movie.
I've heard of the name. I haven't heard about it. I need to watch it because I'm like intrigued.
On your
it.
physics era. Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
watch
Yeah,
it.
love
You
it.
need to
I
watch
just feel like the more I understand about physics, like the easier it is to navigate. Like even just like understanding the universe. But
Yep.
like remember, we are one, and like you'll understand yourself better. Like to understand the universe is to understand yourself.
Mhm.
That's why to me it's so important, like I said, to do things for the better of the universe
Mhm.
and for others. Like
Yeah,
That's our purpose.
that is my purpose in life.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
100%. Oh my god, this is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have one more thing that we wanted to ask you before we wrap it up.
Yes.
I remember when we first met each other, you talked about, well, we got into, it's so crazy that we got into a conversation very similar like this the first night we met each other.
Insane.
Seriously.
Energies, bro.
Yeah, like it was like dinner. We talked about something for 1 second, and all of a sudden we're like manifestation, spirituality. Like it was so quick with us, which is like literally how we know that we're on the same page and why we connect with you so well. But you mentioned something about you guys having this girls only night spiritual.
Yes.
I just want to hear about that, because also like we would love, like it doesn't have to be in the near future, any time in the future, like for you to guide us through something like that. But
Of course, I'd love to. So me and my family have this women empowerment called chingonas. It's translated in Spanish, but in English it means like this woman empowered woman or something along those lines. And we have them, it's been 2 years and like 2 years and some months now, and we started it to really help each other and create a safe space to help heal our traumas and triggers and to overcome and go from victim to survivor, because they're two very different things, and you don't want to live in the victim mentality, you want to live in the survivor mentality. And so my cousin started it. She's actually getting her master's and wants to get her doctorate degree in psychology, and she made us go through this exercise. That's the exercise you had mentioned that you wanted me to.
Yeah, because I think that's what we talked about.
Yes. So it was this beautiful exercise where, and it was the first session we ever had. So this is the very first session. She kind of talked about the purpose of, why we're doing this, and we've been through a lot as a family and individually, and she said it's time to heal. And so the first thing that she had us do, there was like a bunch of mirrors laid out, and you had to grab a mirror, look at yourself, and apologize to yourself for anything that you have done to hurt you. And so she explains that, and I was like, okay, it's kind of deep, but we can do it. And I volunteered first because I'm like that one person that I'm like, I'll do it. I'll break the ice. And so I grabbed the mirror and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, all right. And I start intensely bawling my eyes out. And I did not understand why. Why is it that I'm looking at myself and I'm not able to tell myself, I'm so sorry for blank? And I did that, right? And I think I said something along the lines of, I'm so sorry for being so mean to you. I'm so sorry for allowing others to make you feel not enough. I'm sorry that you... And it goes on, right? But it was so personal and so real because you are looking at yourself. If we're talking to anyone in the world, we're not really looking at ourselves unless it's in the morning when we're brushing our teeth, walking through the mirror in the mall and like looking at ourselves at a glance or at the gym. But to have that personal connection and talking to yourself is something that unlocked something very powerful within me that taught us, in a sense, you are like you. I don't know how to explain it deeper, but like you are you. Everything that you do, every action, every word that you say is only affecting you.
Yeah.
And you have to be kind to yourself because you don't understand how hurtful those things may be until you're looking at yourself. You're asking for forgiveness to yourself.
Damn.
And it was really deep. It was really beautiful. And there was not much technicality behind it besides like grab a piece of paper, write down what you want to say to yourself, like apologize for, and then say it to yourself in the mirror. And yeah, that's just one of the intense exercises that we've done together as a family. There's many, and my cousin didn't invent this. She learned it in her school, and she brought it to us, and it was just very beautiful.
That is sweet. I want to do that.
Yeah, I would love for us, like, that being maybe one of the things you put us through, maybe other things, like whatever you decide. Like I would love, because also I think that what she fostered for you guys and your family, by the way, like sounds incredible. Like usually people experience trauma, especially if it's familiar related, as a whole, but they never recover as a whole. So for you guys to have somebody in your family who was like, you know what, like we're gonna do this together. Because we, if anything, understand like the individual struggles we might not know of, but there's something really deep that you guys all had connected together. So I think that's so like beautiful that you guys had someone in your family to bring you together like that. But also it's like so many people, like even if it's not familiar related, right? People never have that space where just to be so vulnerable and to be accepted, but also to be in the connectivity of others, I think is really beautiful. So like imagine if we did that on our podcast and a girl in their room could just join us who doesn't have that space created for her, but now she has it. And 3 other people are crying. Maybe it's through her headphones, but are there with her so she's not alone. Like I think that'd be so powerful.
Yes,
I think that would be
that.
very beautiful. We can definitely do that. I'll get more information on the details of it so I can like run it how she did, because it was so beautiful and so impactful. But yeah, I'll see which one is the best. I'll try to like recollect my memory and figure out, but that one was just like that first introduction to it. It was so beautiful, and yeah, I would love to put you guys through one of those.
Yeah, I think it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up now if you want to. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you girls for having me. It's honestly such an honor to be here, and yeah.
Likewise. Thank you for like, taking time out of your day. It's like Friday night.
Yeah.
Like, you should be going out, and we're over here like
I think we all know that like none of us
I know we're all homebodies. Guilty.
I was telling Nona, we were literally like, we schedule it at Fridays at 6 for our guests because no one is going to go out. Like, or everyone's going to go out and we'll have that space. I'm like, what? We're such losers. Like, we're the ones that like, let's take advantage of everyone else going out so we can have a business space.
No, I have it's my nephew's birthday and I'm going to go to like the dinner and stuff. That's why I moved it. But I don't really go out.
Yeah,
it's not, I used to, but I'm just so over that.
Yeah.
Felt.
But
Well, thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
like
girl.
honestly, such an honor to have you. And
we
The
love
honor's
talking to
mine.
you.
yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait to show you guys.
yeah, me too.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.